Welcome to your New Hampshire National Guard podcast. We are always ready, always there. This podcast series is a production of the State Public Affairs Office.
Hello, I'm Tech Sergeant Charles Johnson with Public Affairs, and I'm here today with Tech Sergeant Natalie Belongie. She's a boom with the 157th Air Refueling Wing, 133rd Air Refueling Squadron. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin. Moved down to Milwaukee when I was about 18. I joined the Guard there. I started off as a crew chief, did that for about 5 years, and then cross-trained to be a boom operator. I was there for about 12 years and transferred out here just a few years ago.
And we've recently, at Pease, everybody knows who follows us for the most part, who's part of the organization, obviously. We've changed to the new KC-46A Pegasus, and you've been a boom on both platforms. You were a boom on the Stratotanker that we divested, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's the change been like?
It's been pretty significant. There's a lot of positives to it. The jet's a lot more comfortable. It's newer. It's fun to learn a new platform. Just the difference of having air conditioning on the ground versus sweating for 2 hours during a pre-flight is huge. You can go up and fly for 4 hours and you can land and still feel really good and not exhausted. But staring at a screen versus staring out a window is definitely a big difference.
For those who don't know exactly, what does a boom do?
So we do the in-flight refueling. So in the 135, we basically laid in the back of the plane on our bellies, staring out a window, refueling other aircraft that flew up behind us. Now the way we do it, we sit up in the front of the aircraft, we look at a 3D screen, and we refuel that way.
That's a pretty interesting difference with different whole perspective.
Technology has come a long way. Yes.
So you don't just work at Pease Air National Guard Base, where we're doing the show from today, by yourself. You've got a new friend that pretty much follows you just about everywhere you go except on the refueling missions.
I've got my best bud Pack here. Yes, sir. So a couple of years ago, our then wing commander, Colonel Pagoric, now General Pagoric, was very interested in having a wing dog. He just wanted something here to kind of help build up morale and, something that everybody could share and enjoy together. So I started looking around, and I had been looking at breeders for a couple of years and knew one that's does an amazing job with the golden retrievers up there. So about a year ago this past weekend, I went and picked up Pack. So he's been with us for just a little over a year now. And I mean, he just seeing the difference when you walk into a building with him is amazing. You see people smile and just attitudes go up, and he just has done a lot for this wing.
And he's a golden retriever?
He is. Yeah. He's just a little over a year old now.
So he was kicking around at the air show last fall?
Yes, sir. It was last September, and we actually enlisted him into the unit on that Friday at Family Day.
And he was just a puppy then. I remember he fell asleep in your arms as you were walking around, and he was all drooped over and from too much stimulus.
Oh, yes.
During the day, too much stimulation. But I watched the dog walk through Pease, and I watch him walk through offices, and people's faces just light up.
They really do. Yeah, he's very good at making people smile. That's for sure.
As I understand it, you're preparing for a test pretty soon, so he can be a therapy dog.
Yes, sir. So we have to start off, we have to get him prepared for the Good Citizens Canine test, which is required to take before he can do the therapy dog testing. So now that he's a year old, he's old enough to be able to take the therapy dog test. So we're working with My Dog's Mind to do some training to get him prepared for all of that. So his attitude's awesome. He's really great around people, and I think he'd be a really great therapy dog.
What are some of the added things that you hope to do with Pack once you get that certification?
I would love to be able to bring him into the hospitals. And one of my friends, she actually goes to UNH during finals week, and she sits in the library with her dog, and she said it's amazing how many people just swarm to her and just feel relief when they're in there and they're stressed out and they're studying all week. And just being able to come pet a dog and calm yourself down for a little bit is huge for them. So I think that'd be really great to do with them.
We had a recent visit from Commander of National Guard Bureau, and what's interesting is in looking at all the photos that we took of the visit with various airmen and soldiers of New Hampshire National Guard, even the General Hokanson took a moment to come over and spend a couple of minutes with the dog.
He did, yes.
So. You mentioned that the dog was enlisted. When is Pack up for promotion?
As soon as I am. So he is actually going to be one rank above me at all times. So any day, hopefully. Yeah.
Tech Sergeant Belongie, thank you so much for coming on the show with your canine companion, Pack, who is the official mascot of the 157th Air Refueling Wing. And best of luck to you both, and I will see you around base.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to your New Hampshire National Guard podcast.